and on that piece of paper is the order for the original Ducati. And at the top of that order, in these words, it actually says, "For Prince William." So it was about 2012, it was in the spring, and I remember it being in the spring, purely because usually springtime in the motorcycle trade, you're tending to chase everything, every bike that you can buy, because everyone's hanging on to them, they're using them, they're riding them, and nobody's really looking to sell them, so you're fighting to buy everything. Obviously when you come around to the autumn and the winter, it's a lot easier to buy bikes. Spring's a challenge. So yeah, spring of 2012, and a customer comes in to see us. I was working at a used bike dealer at the time. We were just purely used, and we stocked maybe 70 bikes, something like that. It wasn't any ridiculous figure, but we'd sell anything from sort of 2,000 upwards, maybe anywhere up to about 15,000, nothing too big and bulky. And a customer came in to see us, and he was just looking to sell a bike, which was great for us. It's, you know, someone walks in, it means we've not got to send the van driver out, we've not got to hunt one down on the usual channels, Gumtree, eBay, Facebook. You know, we've got one in front of us. It means it's saved us money. We can afford to pay a little bit more for it if we need to. So he comes in, shows us this lovely Ducati Panigale in red, had every conceivable extra. Now 2012 would have been a very early Panigale. They were not many around, not many people were seeing these bikes, but this one, it almost looked like a show bike. You know, they couldn't have put any more parts or extras or accessories onto this bike. It had everything.
Hold on a second. Hey guys, if you're enjoying this video, why not hit the subscribe button and then the bell icon to get notified of the latest videos and exclusive content from our channel.
So we got chatting to the customer, and we're asking him about the bike and why he had it spec'd this particular way. And as it turns out, he'd not actually bought the bike new. He'd bought it as a second-hand bike, and it was through a Ducati dealer. A friend of his had rang him up and said that he had this special bike, and did he want to buy it. So he'd bought this bike. So we agreed the price with him, and I can't remember exactly what we paid for it, maybe £10,000, something like that. But it was lovely, it was really nice. We made it a centerpiece of the shop. Everyone that walked in saw this bike because it really was special. It was good enough to be on any stand at any bike show. It was just really nice. So in looking through the paperwork, which it had plenty of, we noticed on the V5, on all V5s, it lists previous owner. I think the new ones now don't actually tell you who it was, but the old ones, they used to say who that previous owner was, including the one before that. So we knew who the guy we bought it off, but then before that, it listed the one before as Ducati in Italy, which is really strange for anyone that deals with Ducati regularly. There's not many bikes get registered actually to the factory in Italy. There's quite a lot get registered to Ducati UK because, you know, press bikes, special events, track bikes that they're going to use all get registered to Ducati UK. And even the ones that get registered to the dealerships for their demo bikes, they're actually registered to an individual dealer. So if you were Ducati Nottingham, Ducati Leicester, you would have a bike that was registered to your particular name of dealership. So we thought that was really strange, and actually, you know, this car or this bike would have a nice history. So we wanted to find out why. So we asked the previous owner, and he didn't know why. He bought it from his local Ducati garage, and he just assumed it was their bike. So we rang up that Ducati garage, and they didn't know. They knew that they bought it from Ducati UK, but didn't know why it might be registered to the factory. So we started digging around a bit more, and we know a few people within Ducati that might be able to give us some answers, but they were all coming up blank. Nobody really knew why this bike would be registered to the factory. So we sort of forgot about it, and this bike had stuck around a while. Because of the spec on it, it meant that it was probably the most expensive Panigale that was around at the time, but it was well worth it. The extras more than added up to the extra price that we put on top of this bike, or that we had to pay for this bike. So we sort of forgot about it, and then one day we had a customer come in, and he worked for Ducati UK. He was looking for another bike, not actually a Ducati, and we asked him, why might a bike be registered to the factory in Italy rather than Ducati UK? And he didn't really know the answer either, but he said he knew someone that could find out and would be able to tell us the answer. Again, we weren't really sure whether that was the case. We didn't know this customer. He wasn't a normal customer of ours. We'd never seen him before. But he said he would find out and come back to us. So we left it with him, and we carried on, and everything was all okay. About 3 to 4 weeks later, we still had this bike, and he comes in to see us. He'd already taken delivery of his new bike at this point. But he came in to see us, and he said, I've got some news for you about your Ducati. Okay, perfect. What have you got? So he sits us down, and he's put in a piece of paper. And on that piece of paper is the order for the original Ducati. And at the top of that order, in these words, it actually says, "For Prince William." So we started asking questions, why would this be for Prince William? Was it did he buy it as a gift, or what was the story? And then the more we sort of dug into it, we found this was actually his personal bike. This was one that he owned. He rode it on the road, and we Googled, and we managed to find some images of people had caught him riding it around London, and checking further in, because of the amount of extras this bike had on, it really was almost one of a kind. You could spec one the same, but nobody did because of the cost. So we sort of dug into it a bit more. We found that this was the case, and it was definitely that bike. It had everything on it. We had the order form, original order form, that had all these bits on. I mean, although it was an order form, I guarantee that Prince William didn't actually pay for the bike. So we did that, and then we thought about, okay, how do we advertise this bike? And in looking into it, it turned out that we couldn't. Ducati would not allow us to advertise this bike as belonging to Prince William at any point. So we weren't allowed to do it. So against our better judgment, we didn't do it. But when someone came into the shop, they were interested, a genuine interest in the Panigale. We obviously pull out our original order form, and at the top of the order form it says "For Prince William," and we show this to our customer, who's blown away. He's buying a Ducati Panigale originally owned by royalty. So that was the Royal Panigale. So he takes it away, and he loves it, and I think to this day he's still got it. I've not spoken to him for some time now, but I think he's still got it, and he still rides it, and he's building up some mileage on it. And we did give him a copy of the original order form, so that when he sells it, whether he does or not, he can tell the next owner where exactly this bike's come from, and hopefully the history will stay with that bike.
Hey guys, if you're enjoying this video, why not hit the subscribe button and then the bell icon to get notified of the latest videos and exclusive content from our channel.